We live.
Pop up
Well,
on them. What y'all mean?
okay, we got the effects. All right. Yo, welcome to episode 72. Happy Halloween, everybody. That's
Happy Halloween.
everybody out there. Make sure y'all be safe this weekend and
For
have fun.
sure.
But yeah, episode 72, our weekly podcast. We're gonna jump right into it. We got some interesting topics today, including but not limited to Young Thug and the YSL Rico case. And what's going on with Elon Musk. So we're going to jump right into it. First thing we're going to talk about is this Elon Musk situation. So it's been officially reported that I guess now Elon Musk has officially purchased Twitter. He is now the complete owner and in full control of the major social media platform known as Twitter. So first off, before we get to like the little sub text of what I want to ask and what we're going to talk about that subject. I'm gonna ask each of y'all, and let's try to keep it brief because we want this episode to not be like 2 hours. So, but give me your little BuzzFeed about how you feel about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Clay, start with you. You go first.
Yeah. And I'm glad you went with me first because I was just talking about it. I've been on Twitter a lot lately. I've always been hearing everybody saying how important it is, especially because you kind of hear everything there first. But that's besides the point. I honestly feel like Elon Musk purchasing it is a good thing, and
Right.
and the reason being is because if everyone knows his intentions with Twitter, he's trying to enable us like our real right, for free speech and free thinking on there,
Right.
um, without any sort of people getting put in Twitter jail and all that nonsense. So I'm all
Right.
for it. I'm definitely all for it, and I think that people got it misconstrued when he was tweeting a bunch of like weird things. I forgot. I wish I had them listed here next to me. But when he was tweeting a bunch of things that didn't make sense and kind of even seemed threatening, but you could tell he was joking.
Right.
Um, if people didn't understand, but that was his reasoning behind it, was to show like this is going to be a platform where you could literally say whatever you want and you can keep doing it and you won't be put in Twitter jail. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Okay, so that's a plus for you, a positive for Clay. Don, what you think? What you think about Elon Musk making this
Yeah, no,
big move?
I like it. I like seeing that. Elon. 1 second, my mic is really low. Turn that. Check. My bad if y'all couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
So with Elon Musk, yeah, I like the fact that he purchased Twitter. I really like it. Like Clay said, it kind of. I feel like because he said they haven't took any changes already to like when it comes to like the content and if what they can ban and what they can't ban or whatever it is, or if they're even going to be banning. They haven't done that, but he reinstated a lot of people whose Twitters has been banned already, and they're going to work on that. So they're going to bring a lot of people to the table and have like conversations on, what I'm saying, how far could you go when it comes to free speech. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I you know what I'm saying, that he has an open mind. So I do like that. So him buying it is pretty dope.
All right, yes, pretty dope. Definitely a positive. Like you said, he's definitely going to work on reinstating a lot of people or some people whose Twitter accounts were obviously disabled because of things they were saying, which we'll talk a little bit more specifics about that. But
Word.
as far as changes, though, one of the interesting things I want to bring up that I read that he did was that there's 2 or 3 very big top executives at Twitter that he fired immediately upon walking inside the building. Like they said, as soon as he walked
Yep.
in, he fired them immediately, and they were told to leave. They were escorted out of the building.
Yep.
So I think there's definitely already off rip this whole entire purchasing and him joining forces with Twitter, him obtaining it was already kind of mixy, and I feel like that came with bad blood between him and the executives and the owner, the previous owner, and all that. So, and they had to actually bring it to court and force him to do it, and I think that's part of the inspiration. That's why he did that. And it is interesting though, because like I said, those are long time executives at Twitter that were working there for a very long time, and I'd assume, I guess he must have replacements for them already to go and do that. So that's just one of the changes I wanted to bring up that I thought was pretty interesting. But real quickly, and again, let's try to be quick.
Yeah.
Starting with Don this time, what do you think about that change? Do you, if you were him, like, is that a good move? Would you have fired these 2, 3 executives that know what they were doing, been there these years? What do you think?
I don't think it's the greatest move, like you said, because they've been there for years. They know what's up. You want to have people like that that's on the team already. So
Right.
I seen something. I don't know if it's true because that's another thing with free speech, especially on Twitter. Is like a lot of misinformation, bro. So I seen something where they said that he fired them before, like they were supposed to get some kind of compensation, like a raise from Twitter,
Yeah.
some annual raise. But
Mm.
like I said, that could be misinformation. You know that these people. So a lot of people are mad that he bought Twitter. So a lot of people are spreading misinformation because of that. So I don't know, but I
Right.
don't. I
Word
would
on
if it was me who bought it, I wouldn't do it. I'll be cool. I'll start being cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's around, so that we can make sure things get rolling on. You know what I'm saying, on a perfect foot.
Right, definitely. And I feel like, obviously part of one of the, which we're going to talk about this too in a little bit, but part of the reasons why I think, like you said, a lot of people are kind of upset about him buying it, or they don't agree with it, is like, things like that, like him finding the execs, I think is kind of foreshadowing that he has like sinister plans, because the
Yeah,
thing is that I think, he obviously knew those people probably wouldn't be with exactly on board with whatever he's trying to do. And if that's the case, you own it now. You have that right. But Clay, same question. What do you think? You're Elon Musk. You walk in. Are you firing those execs too, or are you at least gonna wait a week or so and see how things go, or are you firing them immediately?
I mean, it seems like it was more of a business move. So, I mean, if he walked in and did it straight off the jump, looking into long terms of him owning this company and doing great things with it,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd follow suit and do the same thing because it sounds like it makes more sense. You know.
Right. Definitely makes more sense. So moving forward, though, as far as people upset about Elon Musk buying Twitter, there's been a lot of reasons, whether you have a problem with it politically or financially or just socially, as far as what's going on with a lot of stuff with freedom of speech right now. Um, it should be noted that one of the main arguments people have seemed to be upset about is that use of the N word on Twitter has raised over 500% since Elon Musk has obtained Twitter and stopped banning it. And
that's
one of the reasons people I've been seeing a lot of people up in arms about this is that they feel like because Elon Musk is one of the pioneers at the moment for freedom of speech, even on the internet, they feel like this warrants hate speech and stuff like that, right? And I've even seen some people go as far as to say like the fact that words like the N word have now raised or they're not being used over 500% than it was shows a lot about Elon Musk's character and what he believes in. And that's another thing that I think is kind of a weird narrative to be painting because I think that more so says more so about society than Elon Musk. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This seems to be another situation where it's like shooting the messenger of the person who wants to provide the opportunity of free speech, but you
Right.
can't have control over what everyone says because everyone's different in this world. But so yeah, so I thought that was an interesting thing. What do you think, Clay? Do you think because like I said, over 500% increase of the N word on Twitter, which also could just mean that the previous um, people running it were doing a lot better job of just blocking out people from even typing out that word and using it. It seems Elon
Right.
Musk lifted that, restraint completely. So, what do you think? Like, do you think that's bad or doesn't matter? Like, what do you think?
It's definitely that term I always use, a slippery slope,
Yep.
because while it could be better for us and our community to use it in terms of expression when we feel it's necessary, it also is going to backfire at us when other people decide to use it towards us in in a negative way. But so I mean, we just have to wait and see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is just making sure that everybody has their freedom of speech. So we kind of just got to take the bad with the great because it's not good. It's going to be great to have
Yeah.
that freedom of speech on there. You know what I
For
mean?
sure, man. And I think like another thing too, like people need to we got to remember the internet is going to be a place where people are going to say things they would never probably normally say in real
And
life because they're behind a screen and no one's going to see them. And that's why like I always tell people I was fortunate enough, or I mean all of us basically was fortunate enough as kids to have access to the internet when it was in its earlier stages
yeah.
and it wasn't as monetized. And I feel like it wasn't any different even back then.
It really
So
wasn't.
pinning all these, yeah, like it's just that we have to remember that the internet is going to be a place where people are going to say stuff, and you also have to remember not to take all that seriously. I'm sure some of the people saying that N word on Twitter right now are logging off and hanging out with all their black friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
That's
we
true.
can't always. The internet always is gonna be an avatar. You know what I mean? To some extent, even if whatever you're using, whatever social media is an avatar, it's not exactly you. And I think that's part of the appeal of the internet and the fantasy of it, that we can be, whether for good or for worse, people could go on there and be a bad version of themselves, or you can go be a good version. But so what about you, Don? What you think?
Yes.
The N word is up over 500%. What's
I
going
seen
on?
that, and like it was literally the day after Elon Musk
Yep.
bought Twitter. I thought it was hilarious, bro, because like just imagine just Elon Musk buying Twitter. Nigger. You feel me?
Yep.
Like
Finally.
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 That is hilarious. Now, so the thing with it, yes, yeah, I feel like um people are gonna troll. I don't think people gonna go that crazy, but a lot of people are going to abuse that situation in their way. So like you're gonna see a lot more. I feel like you're gonna see a lot more of that,
Yeah.
but it's
No,
not
that's a
gonna
fact.
it's not gonna be like as crazy. You're not gonna go on there every day and just see like
That's a
hate
fact. But
speech.
you know what? Even if you see a lot of it, I like that because for those people who are racist and want to say the N word with the ER, fuck it. Now we know now we know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like people are just gonna expose themselves. Yeah, we can't ban their account and stop them from using their right to free speech, but at least we know the type of person they are. You
And
know what I'm saying?
just like Jay was saying, it's like essentially you're kind of like an avatar on this internet stuff. So
Right.
a lot of people that saying it, to be real, bro, they probably not even racist, bro. They probably just some
That's what I was
random
trying to say.
Yeah,
random
Some of them are
and
probably
people
that
black
too.
people.
just
You
want
have a
Some of
mix
them are
of
probably
that
black
too.
people.
just want to
Right.
get on the internet and just troll and just do stupid stuff. Could be some little kids
Yeah.
and
And
little
you know, what's the funny
12-year
thing
olds.
too is like specifically now, every social media platform has algorithms.
Mhm.
If you're just normally on your feed seeing racist white people say nigger, you must have been looking that shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're only gonna see like the things you look at or what you follow. So
Right.
like me, like I was thinking about the other day, like there's got to be an entire world of Instagram that's filled with racism and KKK flag, that as far as they could get away with it. You know what I mean, on social media. But
Right.
I don't see any of that on my feed because I don't
That's true.
follow
That's
or
true.
look at any. I don't like explore
Right.
page is a testament to that. Whatever you see on the explore page is probably what you're mostly into, or what what I'm saying. At least
That
the
is a fact.
realm of what you know. So
With the algorithms these days, they stole the idea of law of attraction and just put it in the algorithm. Because
yeah, basically, yeah.
even so, if that's what you like, say you go every day you get on Twitter, and you go back and forth with somebody who's racist, or like you go back and forth with somebody who like hates a certain group of people, or you know what I'm saying, you're gonna continuously see that, like no matter what
Yeah.
because Twitter or these social media platforms, they want you on that platform. They want you on there arguing with people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They want you to constantly be on there so that you can see an ad that pops up and then go back to arguing with somebody on a social media platform. So, like, that's just
Yeah.
honestly the way I see it now is going is like if it continues, if they don't do anything, whatever else they do, if it continues going this way, I just feel like it's just gonna like everybody's gonna be on there doing what they want to do, monetizing it. I don't see it being bad, to be real. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
that. Everyone just practice ignoring. If you see things that you don't like or people
Yeah,
that you don't like,
that's a
block
huge
them,
thing.
ignore them.
And
Yeah.
block.
So
Facts.
block them.
Block,
Let's
mute.
circle back to what we were talking about earlier when we mentioned people whose Twitter accounts, and also let's kind of, if you got, like, I know I ask you all the time, but just kind of remember to check out the chat from time to time to see if anybody's saying.
Just Rachel, she just said they've been waiting. They've been waiting to go in there and say the N word.
Yeah,
That's a
for
fact.
sure. But yeah, so circling back to, we were talking about like how certain people's Twitter accounts might have been disabled or deleted completely from them, or they weren't allowed to say things because they said in the past. So now they're reporting that it's possible that, I mean, within the next couple of days or weeks, we might see the Twitter accounts of both Donald Trump and Kanye West completely free, I guess you could say. We know Kanye West is close friends with Elon Musk. Donald Trump was not reported to be, but since we're hearing his Twitter might get freed, he's been had positive things to say about Elon Musk and Twitter. So, so two things that I wanted to ask y'all. But first, I'll ask this. So, starting with Clay, keeping in mind that people like Kanye West and Donald Trump specifically, who have large platforms, and just as a side note, a common argument that I've been hearing from people, even regarding the Kanye West situation, is that people, how do you word this? People that are on a higher platform or that have a wider audience have a higher, I guess, responsibility or a greater responsibility to say the right thing, to put it simply. And I guess to an extent that is true, but I personally don't think that should block freedom of speech. But anyway, keeping that in mind, Clay, what do you think about people, specifically Donald Trump and Kanye West, with their history on Twitter? What do you think about their accounts potentially being reactivated, and what that could mean?
I think it's great, especially for Kanye. Even though we don't like everything that Kanye says, I don't like the fact that, like we said, I don't like the fact that his freedom of speech is being censored. So the fact that he'll be able to say what he wants and get his point across on Twitter, I love that. As for Donald Trump, hey, go ahead and go for it. And anybody who don't like him, now you have the freedom of speech to cuss his ass out if you really want to. So you know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win. I feel like there's really no wrong.
That's true. Don, what you think? What do you think about them two getting their accounts free?
It's I think they were banned. Like Kanye was like banned for like what, like a couple weeks? Not even a week, couple weeks, a week or so. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like before I guess Elon Musk had Twitter, they did when they banned people. I think like it would be like more like suspended accounts.
Right.
So I feel like they if like jail, they did their time for whatever they said, whatever Twitter was against. Like it's about time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Not even so much the technicality, like that aspect of it, but as far as I guess what I more so mean is like with them two specifically having their accounts free now, and what they might potentially say or spread in the near future. Do you, from that aspect of it, do you think it's good or bad? Like, do you think like, damn, like, I mean, because like, yeah. So like, what do you?
I don't think they spreading too much anything that would really sway like a large group of people to do something crazy. So it's like I feel like
that DEFCON 3 tweet got Kanye pretty fucked up this past week, to say the least. So, that was like four words.
The thing with Kanye saying it was not technically hate speech because he's not trying to get a group of people to go and like murder people type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not, in a way it's like, it's not that serious. Like, you feel me? Like he can be on Twitter, say what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Donald Trump, same thing. Even though with Donald Trump, I would say that the January 6th incident all happened because of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he got all his people riled up and
that's interesting too. That's sorry to cut you off, but that's another interesting thing that I've been talking to people about as far as comparisons, because I think the Donald Trump situation that day with the insurrection that was a thing that happened because the power of talking to people in person, especially it's a lot to explain because life is like a lot of things. It's like we already have like 5 senses that can be triggered, right? And then you have senses as far as like where you are, you get what I'm saying? What's in your mind, what's happening at the time, who's around you, because we all even know ourselves, like if you're at a party by yourself or at a party with your girlfriend, your demeanor and behavior might be completely different than if you're there with your 5 homeboys or something.
Yeah.
It's like that thing happened, I believe, is because he was right in front of the Capitol, gave a huge speech to a group of people, and immediately that option was there. The Kanye situation is like, realistically, I just don't see a large group of people going out and physically.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can understand banning somebody for life on Twitter for something like that, something that could really interfere with real life and, really get people hurt. But if somebody just on there talking and, whatever they talk, then, I ain't got no issue with them being on Twitter.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. I think further, that I think that it's a bigger the responsibility should more so be on these big tech companies like Instagram and Twitter, because like EJ, you had mentioned these algorithms and stuff are is like you'll just mention something like what Kanye said wasn't exactly hate speech, but because it was more so we don't like what you're saying speech, it had this major reaction, and these and it got banned or whatever, you know what I mean? But
I'm gonna
these
cut you
tech
off real
companies,
quick. I'm just gonna say what because we got a comment.
okay, sure, yeah, go ahead.
So column 1589. Anything that's derogatory to a group of people can be considered hate speech. What might seem light to one might deeply offend another.
Right. And that is
Pretty sure that's
obviously
Khalid.
possible. But
Yeah, I think
again,
it's Khalid. Yeah.
I think that's another, and again, it's
What up,
all
Khalid?
opinion.
Yeah.
I know it's Khalid. Yeah, Khalid. You don't necessarily have to agree, but particularly us people who were raised by parents that weren't bitch asses, and I hate to say it that way. It's like people need to start really defining the line of what is considered, oh, I'm going to be offended by this or not offended. You get what I'm saying? There's a video circulating on the internet of an Asian lady on a train screaming out racial deficits at the top of her lungs on the subway, a crowded ass subway train. That is something that is like, okay, clearly, widely, very specifically offensive to people. Saying that you kind of don't like if that lady was to say, I kind of don't like how much black people are on this train. Yeah, it's still offensive, but nowhere near as automatically and definitively as offensive as screaming out nigger, you know what I'm saying, at the top of your lungs. Right. And I don't think Kanye West in this situation, while he may have, yes, offended some people, I don't think he crossed into that line of, oh, this is straight up Nazi, you're straight up being racist. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that as going that far.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
EJ straight up skipped me. I'm offended. I really didn't.
We don't see no.
Unless you commented some crazy shit and they deleted it, I didn't see a comment.
Word, that's probably what it was. You probably commented some wild. Yeah.
Oh, there's no comment. It's not there at all.
Nah, not
he's
before.
Like,
he said I skipped them, but there's no comment. So
yeah,
he probably.
But yeah. So anyway, to wrap my point though, like I was saying is just as like definitely people as I get it. You talking because basically what Khalid was just saying is basically the overall notion that talking about any specific group of people is offensive. You get what I'm saying? Like it's basically saying you shouldn't say anything unless you're saying straight positive, which I think is unrealistic. Because I don't care what nobody want to say. All of us have some kind of derogatory or like prejudiced thoughts to some extent about some group of people. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I mean that's the thing. Everybody does, and
so we're not arguing if it's okay to have those thoughts or those. We're arguing if it's okay to express them. And why should it not be okay? As long as it's not direct, straight up hate and violence you are preaching, why should you not be allowed to say publicly you have an issue with a group of people? You know what I mean? I don't think that should be taken as you take it how you want, and you can say yes, that person's offensive. They shouldn't say that.
I mean,
but to call them a racist,
I definitely get where you're coming from because it most certainly I feel like, in my opinion, can be a healthy conversation between two people or even one person from one side and a group of people or vice versa. Right. But it's just that, hate to say it, but for the most part, people are so like arrogant in their own ways or ignorant in their own ways. Rather, like it's hard to have that conversation damn near impossible. It really takes a specific person and a specific group of people to make that conversation work. It's just something that just can't be had, and that's why it's possible, but why we don't see it often.
That's the reason is that because people get so offended because when you're talking to people about things, they'll even attempt to try to talk to you about it, but like if you say something that's like they really don't believe in or that they feel is attacking their beliefs, then there's a lot of people that's like you said, they're not even trying to have that conversation. It's automatic, and I think that's more so what we need to practice changing to at least be able to have these conversations without completely, or at least being able to talk on Twitter and say how you feel without straight up being racist or violent or bigotry, you know what I mean? So
hey, y'all do me a favor because it's chopping up a little. Jump out and jump back in real quick. I know it's yeah. I don't know why it's chopping up like that.
Oh damn.
We still here, y'all. It's just getting a little choppy, so we getting them back in here. I want y'all to hear everything good. I said that got you. They probably like you said, Casey, they probably watching, so that is probably what happened there. I ain't gonna cap with you. Hold on, I'm getting Clay back in. Let me see if he's good. My bad, y'all. All right. What the hell? Okay, there we go. It's still choppy as hell. Say something, Clay, real quick.
Do the sway. Do the sway. Do the sway.
All
Do the
right.
sway.
No, that's not gonna work, bro. To be honest. 1 second.
And wiggy, 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 wiggy.
That's not gonna work. Hell no.
Yo, chill, Casey. I don't know. I think they can hear us.
Huh? Nah, they can hear you. They can hear you. Hold on.
Yeah, word. Because
Nah.
Casey just said no music.
Jump into that one. I just text y'all with the lowercase p. They can hear you, but it's really choppy. So I just text you a new one. Jump into that one with a lowercase p. Kanye was telling the truth about that group of people, and they showed. I can respect that. I still going with the new music. How do I still hear y'all boys? All right, let's hope this is good, bro.